I don't know where you have discussions with your family at when you say, hey, we need to have a little family time. But we're going to have a little family time today. So if you don't consider Crossroads your family, and this is not your church home, then you can just tune me out. If you're at home, you can just shut me off. But if you consider Crossroads your home, I'd like to share just a couple of things with you. I want to start by saying this, that as your pastor, I am grateful that we're doing life together. I am proud to be your pastor, one of your pastors. I am so proud of this church through the years and what you've done. And I'm so grateful for all of you that volunteer, and even those of you that don't now or don't yet now. We've been in this pandemic, right, for way longer than any one of us would have ever thought of could possibly happen. And just when we think we're getting on the outside, something else changes. And no matter how you feel about that, the real deal is it is what it is. And as a church, we've been affected. Of course we have. Everybody's been affected. And I understand that. And one of the ways that we've been impacted, not just with people not being able to show up, or we've done online, and we're in the midst of a building campaign. Thank you for all of you that have participated in Imagine. For some of you are like, oh yeah, Imagine. We'd like to finish the year well there. So those of you that have made pledges, if you can catch up or do what you can with Imagine, it's not gone away, and that impacts us, obviously. We're doing well, but we're not doing as well as we were pre-pandemic. Surprise. When it comes to general budget, just the day-to-day things that come from our tithes and offerings, we're about 12% under budget. We've not said anything because we've kind of held our own, which is a huge tribute to Lee Prettyman, our executive pastor, our staff and volunteers that have worked so hard to try to contain expenses as best we can. But the fact of the matter is, because the money hasn't been where it was, that we haven't been able to do things always the way we wanted, or as many of those ministries. I'm not saying that to complain, because trust me, we're grateful. There's been thousands of churches that have had to shut down during the pandemic. So I'm not being ungrateful. Please don't hear that at all. I'm also not up here to try to twist your arm or to guilt anybody into doing something. But we met with our trustees this past week getting ready for the next year's budget, and we all determined, and they determined, that, hey, I think the body, the family would want to know. Like, there may be people in a position to say, hey, I'd like to finish this year strong, and maybe I haven't been as consistent. Those of you that have been very consistent, thank you so, so much, because lives are still being changed, and God is still doing a great work. But for some, right, it might be, hey, we're blessed in such a way, we'd like to be able to do something. And before the year end, that would be a great time to do that. For those of you that have been inconsistent maybe with you, I get it. I get it. That's easy. Out of sight, out of mind. We hadn't been able to meet. All those different things. The challenges come. Maybe you could take a step and do online giving, right? And then it's more consistent. For some, listen, for some of you may be like, hey, I don't even think about it. I'm like, hey, everything must be good. I don't ever hear about finances, because that's kind of who we are, right? But this might be a chance for you to join in and be a part of that. And here's all I'm asking. I just want to, first of all, I'm not really asking. I'm telling you, thank you for those of you that support us. I'm telling you because we believe that you'd kind of want to know. I'm not saying the ship's sinking. Don't say, oh, we're in trouble. But we're being affected. And if you seek God's heart and He wants you to do something, He leads you there, great. If not, listen, don't say, man, that was a great message till he started talking about money, and I feel. That's not my heart. I'm so grateful, but I will tell you this. Again, I've never had a bad day or regret giving to God's kingdom and His work, because people and God are the only things that are going to last. I made some dumb decisions with money for my own self, never for God's kingdom. Don't ever give out of pressure or guilt to God or to anybody else, and I truly mean that. But listen, when you understand you can't outgive a God, and that We can't take anything with us, but we can send treasure ahead by investing in God and his people. So just a little family talk, gathered around our big kitchen table. And thanks for listening. Thanks for being who you are. Thanks for what you've done, what you're doing. And stay tuned. The best is yet to come.